So I've been into 5 prisons, and in those prisons what I've done is I've generally worked with people who've committed violent crimes or high status people on the wings, and we bring them together and we train them in the dialogue roadmap, and then we show them how you can use the dialogue roadmap to mediate disputes between people, and then we get them working, and then we get them mediating disputes. Now, what's been really interesting for me is I've been in 5 prisons, usually have a cohort of between 12 and 16, but we've had as many as 20. Usually have a cohort of between 12 and 16. And so far yet, not one person, and you know, we've had some people on the training who really have had literacy, really bad literacy issues. We've had people who've brought us their medication to show us, you know, some of the mental health issues they have. Had some really highly manipulative people. You know, we've had people all sorts of states, and not one person didn't get it. Not one of those people didn't get it. And I say because 2 things that I've heard. One is probably the most shocking thing I've ever heard, which was, we never knew that you could sort out an argument through talking. Now, think about that. Someone says, we never knew that you could sort out an argument through talking. I must question the education system. I have to. That's where I go to. And the second thing which really, really tickled me was, of course, when we're, you know, preparing to mediate a dispute, when we're working with the parties, we're laying the ground and setting things up so that whatever happens, you know, we create the trust and safety for that conversation to take place. One of the guys said, I never thought I would be having a conversation about having a conversation. And that really tickled me. Now, interestingly enough, one of the things that came up, guys, about why they really like the mediation training, and why once one cohort of being, you've got, you know, lots of them want to come on, we always manage to run out of funding, was that when we're going in and saying, actually, I'd like you to be a mediator, I'd like you to learn some skills, I'd like you to put all the things that you know to good use, and I'd like you to see how this works. What the feedback that we constantly get is, we're the first people that have come in that aren't trying to fix them. So usually some of the complaints are that if you're invested in victim awareness or thinking skills or some of the other courses that go in, and you know, I know there's some marvelous stuff that goes on in prison, and I know that people have life-changing, you know, events. But one of the complaints that we've had is the starting point is, there's something wrong with me and I have to be fixed. And I think I can kind of get with a level of upset and resentment might come with a real or perceived hearing of that message. So when we go in and say, hey, we got something really important for you to do, and we know you can do it, the results have been amazing. I mean, the results have been truly amazing. From changing, you know, a lifer, hardened gang member, you know, saying, actually, this stuff has opened me up, and now I want to go into therapy because I can see some disturbance in me that I've never seen before. You know, from people taking a sort of personal responsibility through to violent disputes on the wing being intervened in by another prisoner and a murder being committed on the wings. So Okay, so you might say, well, so what? You've been in 5 prisons and, you know, whatever. But for me, I saw true engagement. I saw people who really wanted to be able to do something different. I saw people see another way of looking at the world in which they could imagine themselves navigating differently. And even had one guy who said, Maria, if I'd known this 6 months ago, I wouldn't have murdered my wife. And he was literally at the beginning of an 18-year sentence, which he said he wasn't going to appeal because he deserved to be there.